Troy, not hearing you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Apparently, I hit the mute button while I was turning the volume down. Well, try this again. Welcome back to episode 346, the Guide and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guide guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about Thanksgiving, pheasants, flu, and other stuff. Happy Pheasant Flu Day, because we missed Thanksgiving show, and so we'll catch up on that. You was out pheasant hunting, and I've had the flu, so we'll hit all that stuff here in just a moment. First of all, I want to thank a bandwidth sponsor, Primary Arms. And I had this all set up, and I was going to be so cool, and I was going to show this like I knew what I was doing, and here I am sitting here flat-footed and not got it ready. That is just unacceptable. Unacceptable.
It
Where did
happens. It
where did it
happens.
where did it go? We do. Here we go. Now we can share it. They have a big sale going on over at Primary Arms,
Yeah, they
and I
do.
don't know why it did not take me there to begin with. 12% off with the code SAVE12 right now. And I was looking at a scope earlier, a red dot site like the one that they'd sent me to try out. They sent me a red one, and they've got a green one on sale right now for like 300 and something bucks, which is a cool deal. This Primary Arms SLX 3X. That is cool, guys. If you are looking for a red dot, and it's got this horseshoe reticle in it. I don't know if you guys can. Ooh, I zoomed in there, but it's got green horseshoe with the chevron in it, and then like bullet drop lines there. And I've got that mounted on my new Henry, and that is a cool scope. You got illuminated reticle. So it's low light. You can turn it on, and mine's red, but that one's green. I like the green ones, so I was checking that out. They didn't have the green one whenever they sent me that one out, or I'd got it. But you guys go over, check out Primary Arms. When you do, please use our link. It's Firearms Radio Network .net/PA. That way, sort of helps show that it came from our website or from Firearms Radio Network's site, and it'll give you the latest code. So when you click on that, there's a discount code for each month, and it's FRN this month. It's just like last month. It's discount code FRN. So if they weren't already giving you 12% off, you get, I forget what the discount is. There's something different every month depending on what it is. Looks like this month is the one that you get some kind of scope mount for it. A scope, you buy a certain scope, you get a scope mount. That's one of the deals. But right now, that 12% off deal is a good deal on all that stuff there. So, well, that's enough about Primary Arms, but check those guys out. We appreciate them supporting the show, and I am so out of touch with doing this. I am trying to get back in the swing of things. I've had the kung flu since since Thanksgiving night. I started getting chills after everybody left. About 9 o'clock at night, I started getting chills, and had chills until I went to bed, and then had like a stomach ache, and then it turned into like a sinus infection, and then it changed from sinus infection to a head cold, ears hurting, throat hurting, then it's in my chest, and I'm still coughing up a little bit of chunky stuff today. I think I'm on the backside of it, but some of these weird things have come out here recently have caused me a little exasperation. But we also want to thank Farms Radio Network. If you've not checked out the shows on the Farms Radio Network, please do. There are a plethora and a cornucopia of shows over there for you guys to check out on all kinds of gun related topics, hunting, off road stuff, uh, whatever you can think of, pretty much. We've got a show for it. Also, check out Jake's selection of goodies and stuff over at patriotpatch.co. If you've not gotten you some Patriot Patches or become a member of the Patch of the Month Club, you don't know what you're missing out. That's some cool stuff. He sent some. I posted some of the things that he had up there the other day. Let me see. I think I've got one of the patches right here. Yep. Let's see if you can see these. Uh, okay, there's the American Express card. I think you tried to show that last time. I got another one the other day. There's a turkey fully armed with all kinds of guns and night vision and grenades, and then pulled the pin on the grenade. But every month you get at least one patch sticker and drawing on the Patch of the Month Club. So, and then shirts and hats and all kinds of other stuff they've got over there for sale. Gun rugs. We've given away a whole bunch of stuff that they've sent us over the years and supporting us, and we appreciate their support and appreciate Jake and his family, good people. All right, that covers our benefactors. So, what have you been up to, Doug, since we last spoke? I know pheasants are in the air, but other things as well. I can't hear you now, Doug. Well, you're muted. I didn't mute you. I don't think. Let me see if I can unmute you.
How about
Okay.
now?
All right, now you're unmuted.
Huh. We're just having all kinds of technical difficulties
Yeah.
tonight. That's all right.
So if you were talking, nobody heard
So that's all I've been up to. No.
it.
So on the God side, of course, been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional. I love doing those. The gun side, everyday carry. 2 weeks ago, I was in South Dakota. Went on a pheasant hunt up there. We were in just outside Gettysburg, South Dakota. And man, you talk about some birds. They had birds and they were everywhere. Of course, you talk about you had the flu. Well, it's a good thing I took the flu shot because I haven't had the flu, but I haven't been able to walk in 4 weeks. So
Gosh.
my knee is still going at it. And my wife convinced me. It didn't take a whole lot of convincing. And if you know me, you know how much I love going to the doctor. And I was willing to make another doctor's appointment and go back to see the orthopedic to see if he could do something for me because man, it just ain't getting no better. And I'm eating ibuprofen and Motrin like Skittles, just keep the pain down in it. But I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I did make it out pheasant hunting, and the folks out there they took real good care of us, man. It was a lot of fun, and they going through the airports the day we went. Um, all the walking you had to do to get the gate to gate and all that kind of stuff. Time we got to South Dakota, my knee felt like it had just been shredded. So I get out there and they, the the owner of the outfitter company and the lodge and everything, he called a friend of his. He's an older gentleman, and his name is Gene. Really good guy, and he's an older fella and he has a hard time walking. So when they hunt, they'll take a block of CRP or whatever, and they'll take half the dogs to one end and half the hunters, and put them on both ends, and you go together and let the dogs work. And as the pheasant get up, they shoot. So they took me halfway down. Gene took me halfway down in the truck and dropped me off. And as they started pushing toward each other, the pheasant to try to get out, I was there as a blocker. And so I got to shoot and have a good time. I shot my
Good.
limits and had a great time. And we get done shooting, everybody get together. Gene would drive down, pick me back up, and off we go.
Hey, well,
So
there's a
we had a
will,
good
there's a way, right?
where there's a will, there's a way. So they took real good care of me. It was funny. I was telling the guys I was blocking, and a pheasant came up from the one side and flew over the other guys, and they were in this little fence row. And I saw the pheasant go over the top of the trees. Somebody shot at it. Everybody shot at it, I guess. Well, what just minute I see my driver take off, and he's going the way the pheasant went. And he went out in the middle of this little sunflower seed field. Just a minute, he come flying back down there. He goes, "Jump in the truck." I was like, "Okay." So I got in the truck, and he takes off back up there. He said, "The pheasant's up here sitting in the field." He said, "Something they hit him, but," he said, "I don't have a shotgun." I was like, "Okay." So he eased up there. Sure enough, I looked out the window and I saw him. I said, "Gene, there he is right there." And he was hunkered down. And I got out and I started walking over to him, and I was going to flush him. I didn't want to shoot him on the ground,
Hmm.
but he couldn't fly.
Oh.
So, so as I got closer to him, he started hobbling, trying to get away from me, and I'm hobbling, trying to catch up with him. So,
Oh man, they should have videoed that.
I know. So I got back to the lodge that night. I was telling Brad the owner. I said, "Yeah, it was funny." I said it was the battle of the cripples, and I won.
Your
I got
legs are longer, huh?
Yeah, I got up closer to him. I was able to actually catch him by the neck and take him back over the truck. But it was it was quite the sight to see. I'm sure. I get back in the
Oh.
truck and Gene goes, "You know, I wasn't sure if you was going to shoot him or try to catch him." He said, "Then I realized you were going to try to catch him, and I wasn't sure who was going to shoot."
Oh.
I was
I'm
like, "Well, I
sorry for
can promise
coughing
you,
y'all's
Gene,
ears. Yeah,
I tell
that's
him, I said, I can
hilarious.
promise you, I wasn't going to chase him very far. I promise. I just want to chop his head off and been done with it." Uh, but
Oh my.
it was
You wish
quite
you
the
had
trip.
Ella with you then, didn't
I did. Well, he's got this dog named Amy. She's a black lab. She
you? Hmm.
loves to hunt. She loves to hunt pheasant. She was in the truck when he went up there the first time. He opened the door to let her out, and she didn't even pay no attention to that pheasant. She turned around and hauled tail back down to where he came from so she could get with the other dogs to hunt.
Oh.
And that's when he come to get me. I tell you what, I guess I'm a better retriever than Amy was today. He started laughing. He thought that was pretty funny. But
Oh, that's
it was a good
hilarious.
trip. It was a good trip. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Getting ready to start doing a little duck hunting. Be going down to Arkansas in 3 weeks, I guess, for the first trip, and be going back down again. But 'tis the season. I'm still chasing deer around. I haven't shot another one. I've seen plenty, but I haven't seen the one I want to shoot yet. So
Is
time
it
is
cold enough
dwindling
down
down.
there to get rid of the rattlesnakes yet?
No,
They're still out, huh?
as soon as it warms up just a little bit, they're back out now. You know, in the mornings and stuff, you won't see them. But
Hmm.
actually, a friend of mine posted one that him and his son killed the other day. It was a big old timber rattler.
Mm.
And that joker looked like he was that big around.
Oh gosh.
Hey, was it you that sent me the video of the snake that was biting itself?
Hmm. Yeah, I
Man,
posted it and tagged you on it.
oh yeah. Mm, that's why I don't mess with snakes, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, you got to bury the head if you cut them off. That's for sure. They'll still bite you.
Oh yeah. I thought it was pretty funny that he bit himself,
Hmm.
and the rest of him still had the sense with no head to realize he just got bit by something.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't
it's
know it
pretty
was
wild.
he didn't know it was him. But anyway, let's see. I've been playing around on the radio. I'm liking that Icom 5100, man. It's the more I mess around with it, the more I like the D Star side of it.
Yeah,
And
they had some good deals on Yezus over on Cyber on Black Friday on Cyber Monday too.
oh yeah,
HRO and they had the 400 for like $125 off or something. They had the
ooh,
FT5 for like $100 off. Yeah, they had some pretty good deals. They had the FTM 300, I think, for like $70 off, $75 off.
I
One
saw
of
the
them
little
did.
Black Friday when you sent me for the ID 52, the little handheld
Yeah, you said something
D
about
Star.
getting you a handheld Icon, so
Yeah, my wife would. She'd probably shoot me if I bought another radio right now.
Yeah. You go with me a hamcation down in
Hamcation.
Orlando,
When
February,
is it?
second week of February, second weekend of February. I guess.
Second week in February. Hmm.
I guess you'll still be duck hunting though.
No, I'll be done. I'll be done in duck hunting in last of January. So hey, it's a possibility. Might have to.
Swing by and pick you up and take you on down with me.
There you go. That'll work. Well, that's about it for me, man. What you been up to other than having the flu?
Yeah. Well, I've been getting a lot done around here. Actually, it's been sort of productive on the farm side of it. I hired a part-time assistant, kind of a guy for the farm and for the some of the rental property repairs and maintenance and stuff like that. I don't need somebody full time. I just need someone to help me every once in a while when I have to lift something heavy or hook up something because Gunner don't have time to spend with me anymore. So he's too busy on his own stuff. But some things I just can't do on my own anymore. I've realized at 56 that I can't, throw hay from the ground up in the barn, and I can't put it on the elevator and go up, climb up the loft, get it off the elevator, and open the gates and close the gates, get in and out of the tractors and all that stuff. While trying to keep the cows in. There's just certain things I need some help with, and this guy that we go to church with seems to be perfect candidate so far because he don't want to work full time because he's got a couple other part time jobs, and he's pretty flexible in his schedule, and I'm pretty flexible for the most part in my schedule. But like 15, 20 hours a week, I just need somebody on the other end of something, or the counterpart, or carrying lumber or something, fixing fences. You always need another helper. It seems like whenever you're doing that stuff.
Hook
And
up an
Gunner's,
implement.
yeah, hooking up stuff. 3 point hitch. I got the quick hookups, but I don't. I got all old equipment that don't have a quick hookups. So I could get those quick mounts, but I gotta get one for everything. It's got a 3 point hitch. So
Hmm.
and I don't know, it might be cheaper in the long run to do that, but trouble I've got is I blew my neck out, all them discs in my neck. So when I'm turned around backwards trying to hook up the stuff, it it irritates my neck and my fingers and the hands go numb. And if I do it for too long, what I like about this tractor is it's got really good mirrors all the way around it, so I don't have to turn my head around most of the time. But when you go to hook up that third 3 point stuff, if you don't have it just perfectly lined up, and you're sitting there and you got your neck twisted, looking down, and I don't know,
That
all the
fancy
remote.
tractor ain't got a backup camera on it.
No, I don't have a backup camera on it. I haven't seen one. I guess probably they do have some that have backup cameras on it, but mine don't.
That would solve some of the problem.
Yeah, but it's got a cab, so I don't really care. It's the first
Right.
tractor I ever had that had a cab. Man, I was bush hogging this summer, and bees is bouncing off the glass, and I'm just laughing at them in the air conditioning, sitting there listening to the music, the sound system. Like, man, if farming was this good when I was a kid, there ain't no way I would went off to college.
Well, that's kind of the way I had it because I don't know if you remember, yeah, when I worked for Buddy and Mike down there, they had a big Ford that had a cab and everything on it, had a
Oh, yeah.
CB and a radio, and
We had a cab, but it didn't have air conditioning, didn't have no radio in it. It just
oh, ours did. That one did.
a
Oh,
big international. I think it was international 806 or something with the big dually tires on it and stuff. It was better than being out on the old David Brown and nothing on it, eating
uh-huh.
smoke, eating diesel all day long. But man, I was like, this is the life, man. These farmers got good these days. I was driving the old John Deere when we first came back up here and took over the farm, and I was getting eat up by every bug known to man, eating, choking down that diesel fumes and cutting them thickets and stuff, and briars whop up there and wrap around your legs. And laying on the back of your hands and stuff.
Run over a yellow jacket hive.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yellow jackets just itch. Whenever I get stung by yellow jackets, it's just like it makes me itch. They don't really sting, but man, those hornets' nests, those ground
Hmm.
hornets, them things are wicked, man.
They're mean.
Oh my gosh, they'll chase you as long as they got energy in them. They ate me up when I first came back. I hit two of those ground hornet nests, and I got stung 11 times before I got away from the nest. And I was hauling butt as soon as I hit that thing. I took off. I saw them come bowling up out of the ground. I took off, and they done lit me up before I got 30 feet. I had 7 or 8 stings on me, and I ended up 11 before I got away from
They can get there fast, can't they?
them. And they know right where it hurts the most too. All right, so where are we at here? Okay, so church, I did. We're just rambling on here. We ain't talked about nothing. Went to been going to church South Fork. Of course, we joined a couple months ago. Uh, this last Sunday was a business meeting to see if we got to be members, and I was sick, so I still don't know if we're members yet or if we got voted in or not. Nobody told me either way, so I assume we're still good. 2 weeks ago, let's see, last 2 weeks before that, we attended and went to men's prayer group last night. On the gun side, I ordered myself a couple crossbreed holsters because they had a really good Black Friday deal. And Nathan just isn't answering me. I don't think Nathan loves me anymore. And Murray's too busy. Murray's too busy to talk to me anymore. So, Carol, they're just your boys aren't being good to us anymore. But got a couple crossbreed holster belts on order because those are the best belts ever.
Yes.
And they've sent me three. I shouldn't be complaining, but I keep losing weight and I keep needing smaller ones. So the first one they sent me was a 64, and that was several years ago. And then they sent me a 56, and then they sent me a 50, and now I need a 44. And so I ordered a 44 and I ordered a 42 or 46 and a 44. I forget which because they cover a pretty good size. I think the smaller one will take me all the way down to a 38, which would be the smallest. If I get into a 38, that would be equivalent to the smallest I was as an adult at about 235 pounds. If I could get to 38 waist, but I'm not there yet. But that's my ultimate goal. So those should take me down pretty close. And so looking forward to getting those in. Farm feeding lots of hay because it was dry. And now it's cold. It's been really cold and below freezing, and the ground was already crunchy because it had just been so dry. So there wasn't nothing for them to eat. They didn't eat all the leaves they could reach and all the low branches and stuff like that. So we started feeding them hay, and I've been feeding them a little bit heavy because there was not anything to supplement with. But we got some rain recently, so hopefully that'll green up the pastures a little bit. Uh, and on the ham side, been checking in some nets. Nobody has yet sent me a thing saying they passed their ham test yet, so I've still got the Yaesu FT4X brand new, never been out of the box, 2 meter 440 HT there. So if one of you guys are going to go out and take your exam and pass it, the first one that sends me their a copy of their past exam sheet will be the winner of that little radio. Just to try to further the ham radio hobby. EDC check carrying the Shadow Systems XR920, and it's got the Crimson Trace Mini Red Dot. It's in a crossbreed Super Tuck Deluxe, and I've got a new light for this thing. Uh,
You,
I've got a new Surefire light that is that I was going to try out, and it's just like that one. It's got the infrared uh, and the visible light. You can switch back and forth. So when I'm using my night vision, I can see good with my pistol in the dark, like
Nice.
ninjas. I can be like a ninja, like a big fat ninja, but big fat arthritic ninja. Oh man, I hate arthritis.
Oh, me and
Oh
you
man,
both, man.
gosh, it killed me last week when that cold front came in.
Getting
This
old is
hand,
just horrible, man.
this hand, uh, doing stupid stuff like punching people and steel and wood crates. Don't do it if you're young. Don't do it. I mean, it looks cool. Don't do it because, man, when you get in your 50s and 60s, arthritis is mean. Ugh. All
It
right,
is
that's
mean.
my stuff. What are you carrying?
Oh, I got the Sig P365
Woohoo!
with the night sights and stuff on it, which I like this little joker. It is a nice little gun to carry. I have not gotten my mini tuck yet. I need to get it. So I actually carry it as of right now in my dress pants and stuff. I have this little holster that I carried in. It's one of those sticky holsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just slide it down in there, and it goes down in my pocket. And nice little package. And
Hmm.
when you grab it, that holster's tacky on the outside, so it grabs your pants pocket on the inside and
Yeah.
just pull right out.
I
I'd rather
use.
have it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it just helps that holster helps the gun come out of your pocket a whole lot easier. You're not coming out with the holster and everything. The holster stays and the gun comes out, so
Yeah.
it makes it quite nice actually.
Yeah, I use a DeSantis Nemesis, which is sort of the same thing. It's got like a sticky outside, and it keeps your, covers up your trigger guard, your trigger, and covers up your, breaks up the outline in your pocket so it doesn't look like a gun. There's like a wallet
Hmm.
or something in there. Good deal.
I carry that little joker everywhere I go. We go to lunch. Of course, I have to leave it uh, in the truck when I'm at work. But as soon as I go into a restaurant, we go to lunch or whatever, it's in my pocket because I don't know about how Kentucky is lately,
Hmm.
but these people are crazy, man. Shooting people in Kroger's and Walmart and all kind of nonsense.
Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere too. So it's moving out from the big city out into the country.
Hmm.
Got a joke I see.
I do got us a little joke. One of the children in a third grade class was wearing a Fitbit watch, which prompted the teacher to ask, "Are you tracking your steps?" "No," said the little girl. "I wear this for my mommy so she can show it to daddy when he gets home." She got her steps in.
I see. A smart thing there.
That that is. I need to go to Arkansas. I'll put one on Ella. I'm like, look, honey, how many steps I got in today.
Oh man, what you got this day in history as well?
This day in history, 1993, Colombian criminal Pablo Escobar, who was head of the uh, Med- I can never pronounce that.
Medellin,
Me- Medellin cartel.
something like that.
Everybody knows who Pablo Escobar is. Arguably the world's most powerful drug trafficking in the 1980s and early 90s, and was killed during a shootout with authorities.
Thorta. I saw a film the other day, or video. It was I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. It was this guy that like worked for the CIA back in the 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
and they had him running drugs and guns and stuff, and they had him take out one of those drug kingpins, and they got a military grade uh, bomb, and they loaded it into like a Cessna 310 or something, and shoved it out the door of the guy's compound and blew up the whole. I can't remember what the name of that was. Had oh, it had Tom Cruise in it, but it was pretty crazy. Like, man, that's
Tom
some,
Cruise, huh?
some wild stuff. They were in this his private prop plane and shoved this big old bomb out the door. It blew up the whole compound. My legs are getting crunchy. We'll see if we can get this done before I go into a coughing fit tonight. All right, let's see. Bible verse tonight is going to be coming from Psalms. Let me see if I can share this. Whew, where'd it go? There it is. I can't see it there though. Let me look over here on this side. Psalms 124, verses 7 and 8. We have escaped like a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken. We have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who has made heaven and earth. And that is again Psalms 124, 7 and 8. Because we, as humans, are born to die because of the curse of Adam. So, under the first Adam, we were all condemned to die. And by the second Adam, that being Jesus, came and paid the price that we couldn't pay so that we would be able to have eternal life. And because of that, we are escaping death. We are not escaping physical death, but we're escaping the spiritual death because we are being redeemed by the blood of Christ if we are believers and we believe in this in Jesus as the Son of God, and not by our works but by His work we are saved. So again, Psalms 124 verses 7 and 8. A little bird fouling thing there go along with your pheasant trip.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, we shall close that window.
My
Let me see
computer, my
here.
computer's just not wanting to play tonight for some
So,
reason.
so we pretty much already talked about pheasants. I don't think y'all care to hear about flu. Uh,
Okay.
Thanksgiving was good because we had. I mean, my mom and dad are gone, but I had my four children and my two grandchildren, and Krista's mom and dad and brother, one for her one brother and sister-in-law came, and her mom and dad's next door neighbor came. We had some others that were going to come, but they got sick before they ever got there as well. That flu, I don't know what it's called. It's like a head cold flu, stomach bug all wrapped into one nasty mess, and it has gone around everywhere around here. Uh, Seems like over half the people you talk to either have it or have had it or starting to come down with it. But it's not COVID. It's just a regular flu type thing. So I don't know. Uh,
You know,
yeah,
this flu's making a comeback now. The
yeah,
last couple years, it was non-existent.
yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? But this, I have to say, this didn't. This wasn't anything like COVID. Uh, so I don't know. I think that COVID, whatever you had a couple years ago, was just called COVID. Whether it was the flu or not the flu, or whether it was
Hmm.
COVID or not COVID. But the thing that we had was really, it was a really, well, you know, you went through it. Just weird, like nothing I ever experienced before. And plus, all the steroids and stuff they put me on probably screwed me up too. But survived it so far.
Yeah, I talked to the orthopedic, the doctor's office yesterday, made an appointment, and they're like, "Well, you just got a steroid shot, cortisone, um, when you was up here the other day, so you can't get another one for 3 months."
3 months.
I was like, ooh, okay.
I'm opening a Sierra Mist. It's not a beer. It's a green key.
It is a Green King because I can't see it. It says God and
Can't see.
Guns on it.
I'm not drinking on the job. Well, I am drinking on the job. But I'm not drinking alcohol on the job because I can't. If I don't bring some kind of something to break this stuff up, but I'll be
It's,
burbling
it's,
here in a minute.
it's the God and Guns brand.
God, I don't usually drink soda. I just drink it like when I'm sick. The only time, rest of the
Hmm.
time I drink coconut water, LaCroix coconut water usually, or some kind of a carbonated water if I need something. But the wife got me some Sierra Mist. Whenever I get sick, I'll get Sierra Mist and some orange juice and mix it together. It seems to cut the phlegm out, but I can breathe. All
Oh,
right, what else you got there? Got anything else you want to talk about tonight? Now we're going to need to be starting to head down the backside.
that's uh, that's about it. Anybody that lives in Georgia?
You had fun coming home, I think, didn't
No, I did not. Yeah. So yeah, let me tell that little story. So we booked our flights, got everything set. I mean, we had just a little bit of layover in Denver from Pierre.
you? Uh-huh.
We were supposed to be home at 2:30. We were supposed to land in Atlanta in the afternoon. So our first flight we were supposed to get on at 8:20 and take off. Well, this is key lime air coming out of South Dakota. And at 8:20 we were still sitting there.
Hmm.
At 9 o'clock we are still sitting there. 9:30 still sitting there. Now they are on Central Time. Denver is on Mountain Time, so they're an hour behind.
Hmm.
Our connecting flight in Denver was supposed to leave at 10:15
Hmm.
Denver time. We finally got out of South Dakota when we took off. It was quarter till 10, and so that was quarter till 9. It's a 50-minute flight, something like
Hmm.
that, to Denver. We get there, we get stuck on the tarmac. I get a thing. I'm on the United app trying to make sure just to see if uh, if we're gonna get it. I get a text message from like, "Hey, we stayed at the gate, but you guys were late, so have a good flight." So we go to United. Now it's 10 o'clock Mountain Time there. So we go to United. The next flight out is not until 5:30 Mountain, heading to Atlanta. So I think we can get. Okay, so we got an 8-hour layover in Denver.
Ooh.
5:30 came, no plane.
You talking about
6:30,
5:30 a.m.?
5:30 p.m. in the
Oh, okay.
afternoon.
So you were in the morning taking
Yeah,
off.
yeah. We left at 8:20 out of Pierre. Where I was supposed to leave at 8:20 out of Pierre in the morning. So now it's 6:30, and they finally come on and say, "Oh, the plane will be docking in just a few minutes." They're coming in from wherever they were coming. They were coming from actually uh, Montana. What's
Billings?
Bozeman? It was
Oh,
coming from
Bozeman.
Bozeman, Montana. So they came in, got everybody off, and they did their turnaround on the plane, refueled whatever they were doing. And they told us, they said, "Well, the crew is running a little bit late. They're stuck in traffic." I'm like, "Well, they were supposed to be here at 5:20. Come on." Nope. So we finally got on the plane at 7, a little after 7, and they roll us out, and we sit on the tarmac for 30 minutes getting de-iced.
Yeah.
We finally took off. We landed in Atlanta at 12 midnight,
Uh-huh.
and we rolled up, and then we sit in the taxiway and just sat there and sat there and sat there. And we're right in front of the gate. The pilot comes on. He's like, "Well, I'm not sure what we're waiting on." He said, "We're waiting for the little
Grand Crew,
flaggy guys to air
Air
crew
Marshal.
yeah, to bring them into to dock."
Yeah.
We sat there for almost another hour waiting.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." So I finally got home at about whew, three
I'm
o'clock in the
surprised you could
morning.
walk.
I couldn't hardly.
You should call them to bring you one of those carts and haul you to the door.
I know. Yeah, people walking down through there pushing those things around, and they look at you like, I ain't gonna even mention it because he might want to ride. I toughed it out, man. I hoofed it. Now Denver wasn't half bad because it's got the walking sidewalk.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
on it, and I'd get on it. I'm like, if y'all want to go down through there walking, you be my guest. I'm riding. But
Did you get that
it's
weird artwork there in Denver Airport?
I did see some of it.
I
It's some
told you.
weird stuff, man.
Yeah. New World Order stuff, I heard. I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
We flew in there out of Billings one time. And, in Denver, you're such a high altitude, you have to come in at a high rate of speed. Every
Yeah.
time I've hit down the airport, you hit hard because there's not as much lift when you get up that high altitude. You up 5,000 something feet in Denver. But I can remember my pastor was in front of us. We were out there on mission. We're looking for a mission opportunity. We went out, did a tour around the state, see what we could find. And he hates flying to begin with, but he is nervous as a cat. And we came into Denver, and I was looking at the ground, and like, I don't want to scare you, but we're going to hit hard. He goes, what? I said, we're going to hit hard, so don't freak out. He's like, why'd you tell me? You can just see him tense up. I said, we're coming in pretty fast because, low density, the high altitude and all that. We're going to hit the runway hard. We hit that runway. Bam! It sounded like it bottomed out the shocks on that thing, and luggage came out of the overhead compartments and stuff
Oh,
falling
geez.
down. People's hollering. I've
I
flown
got
enough flights. I know when we're going to hit something. I could tell by the ground speed we were going coming there hard and fast. It wasn't a
me and
smooth flight.
me and a male stewardess almost got into it. I had my backpack that I carry, the black one you see me at gun shows and stuff with.
Uh huh.
And I made sure there was no ammo or magazines or nothing in it this time, so I didn't get nothing taken away from me. That's good. But I did have some cigars in it and some other stuff and the computer and some stuff that I was carrying that I didn't want to get lost. And I had already sat down. I had put my bag up in the overhead,
Uh huh.
and we were good. Well, somebody comes on late,
Uh-huh.
and he comes over and pulls my bag out of the bin and puts this suitcase up there. And I'm like, okay. And then he takes my bag and pushes up in there, and he just starts wailing on it,
Yeah,
trying to push it in there.
they're
I'm like,
jerks.
and I'm sitting right there next to him. I'm like, hey, I said, what are you doing? I said, easy. He goes, oh, is there something here that could be damaged? I said, well, if it is, you just did. He's like, oh, well, I got to get it in there. You got to put it under your feet. I said, just give me the bag. I'll put it under my feet. I'll put it under the seat. It'll be fine. And I was like, this was late and
Yeah,
we'd already been in the airport for several hours. And I just wasn't in the mood for him, wailing on my stuff
yeah.
like that. They didn't care. I like make her put her bag underneath the seat or something,
Uh-huh.
or the dude, whoever it was that had the bag.
Yeah, they're big about it. If you got a backpack, making you put it under your feet. I'm like, dude, I got size 15 shoes. They don't hardly fit under the seat themselves. I ain't got no room for my shoes and a backpack. It just ain't gonna happen. They're like,
so so check this out. On the way out there, this is what happens to me when I fly.
uh-huh,
So I'm sitting in my seat, minding my own business. When I got on the plane, there was a young lady sitting there. She was probably maybe 20, 19, 20 years old. And she was sitting in my seat, and the seat right behind where I was supposed to sit was open. So I'm assuming she just didn't read the sign,
hmm
what seat it was. I did not care. It's an aisle seat and an aisle seat. So I just sit down in that seat, strapped up. We took off. Everything was fine. About halfway to Denver, the stewardess comes over to me and she looks up at my seat number, and then she looks at me, and then she looks at this little business card, and then she looks at the seat number again. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And she hands me this business card and she said, here, the captain wanted me to give this to you. I was like, I'm not making this up now. I said, okay. I'm like, what did I do? You know? So I take the business card and it's from the captain.
Uh-huh.
And on the back, it's got a little note. It says, Elizabeth, just want to thank you for flying with us today. Hope you had a good flight. Blah, blah, blah. Captain so and so. I was like, that is so sweet. But, my name is not Elizabeth. So I'm thinking, I'm pretty sharp. I'm like, this has got to be Elizabeth sitting in front of me. So I reached up when we got ready to we had landed. We were taxiing in because the stewardess had just brought it, and I tapped her on the arm and she turned around. I said, "Is your name Elizabeth?" And she said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Here, I think this is for you." And then she looked at it, read it. I said, "Yeah, I wonder why the stewardess gave me such a look when she when she brought it back there to me and gave it to me."
Yeah. Uh, wonder what that pilot was doing. All right.
Dude, hey, and I got stuck in metal detectors. When you got to step in there and hold your hands up, and they
Uh-huh.
scan you. Every time I had to go out and get rewanded because my knee and my ankle kept lighting up like I had something on there. He's like, "You got any artificial, joints or anything?" I'm like, "No." He said, "Well, we need to frisk you." I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "I ain't got
I've
nothing. I got my
been
shoes
waiting
off."
for this all day long, boy.
I know.
Come on. Let's get it. Make them earn that money.
I'm like, "Hey, it showed up on my knee, not there. Quit."
They get Krista every time because she had some surgery, which included putting some coils in, and apparently they were a lot bigger than we thought, but they're down lower in her region. So every time she lights up, and she goes this heavy metal, and she's like, "Yeah, I've got some coils," and like, "Okay, we got one." And then like, "Well, where are they?" And like, she's like, "They're in my lower abdomen." So it's she had some varicose vein issues and things like that, but every time she goes to fly now, they pull her aside and got to do the search and stuff. She's like, "Yeah, I'm wired to get pulled over all the time."
I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, my knee that was hurt is the one that kept lighting up. I'm like, stupid flu shot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it was the flu shot
I know, right?
because I've heard of some other shot causing metal to appear and have magnetic properties. Hopefully they didn't give you the meaner one.
I hope not. But yeah, both airports they lit
Can
me
you
up.
stick a magnet to your knee and it stick?
I don't know. I haven't tried actually.
Yeah, I think there's a lawsuit getting ready to happen if it does. All right,
I got to
let's
find a
see.
magnet now.
Got you curious now.
It is got me curious. I mean,
Well, thank again, our Primary Arms, for sponsoring the show. So you guys go over and check them out. They got some cool deals going on, 12% off right now. So check those guys out. You can go firearmsradio.net/PA and give them some love. They've been giving us some love. We appreciate it. Patches and stickers. We have a few patches and stickers left. We also have a Subscribe Star account. You go to subscribestar.com/god and guns, and you can throw us some money, and we would appreciate that. Doug's got the next two. Then we got Armed Citizen of the Week.
hey, PowerTac lights. If you're looking for a flashlight, PowerTac has been running some awesome sales. They've had this, and I like it too. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but Cyber Monday has turned into Cyber Week now.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so Cyber Week, if you're looking for some deals, PowerTac has some good stuff out there. Go check our buddies out at powertac.com. And if you see something that's not on sale, use our promo code God and Guns. They'll give you 30% off. Hey, but if their discount is more than what you could get with God and Guns, order it through them, but tell them, hey, you heard it through us. So that way we get a little credit for it. Also, Crossbreed holsters. You just heard Troy talking about getting new belts. I'm fixing to get a crossbreed mini tuck for my 365, and they crossbreed just has some great holsters, comfortable, and they pretty much make a holster any way you want to carry for pretty much any gun you want to carry on your person. So go check them out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use the promo code GNG and get 10% off just for listening to the show.
I'm watching my wife over here around my safe. I got a
Oh,
notification that someone's in front of my safe. I'm like, who's in front of my safe? I got a camera over the safe. So I see,
hey, we were flying into
what you doing
Denver.
in my gun safe over here? I'm talking to her.
We were flying into Denver and it was rough, dude. It was, I mean, it was, the plane was bouncing up and down. And
Oh, yeah.
at one time I thought we were coming in sideways.
Mm.
I texted Wendy. I said, "This is the number for my gun safe just in case."
That made her feel good.
Yeah. She's like, "Why?" I said, "I'll tell you later."
Oh, man. Yeah. Denver's sort of rough. Most several times I went there, it's pretty rough, but it's
That
not as
is,
nerve wracking as Billings Airport because Billings is right there on the edge of on the edge of a bluff.
uh,
So if the wind blows you off that one, you're gonna go tumbling down a couple a 1,000 feet. It's not as bad as Maui, but oh well. Armed Citizen of the Week. What we got?
armed citizen for this week. Chicago, Illinois couple defended themselves when an alleged robber managed to enter their seventh floor condo via scaffolding on Monday, October the 10th, 2022.
Huh.
Around 3 a.m. that morning, one of the couples woke up and began her morning routine. During this, she thought she had heard strange noises, but assumed that they were coming from the nearby unit. She had completed her routine and was about to leave when she entered the bathroom and came face to face with an intruder who had gotten in by climbing scaffolding set up just off of their balcony. The intruder punched the woman in the eye and she pushed back. Falling to the floor, the woman began fighting off the intruder while yelling for her still sleeping fiance. Awakened by his partner screamed. The fiance rushed to the bathroom and pushed the intruder off of her, telling her to go to the bedroom and fetch his gun. She
Fetch
did
it.
so. Fetch it. Fetch it.
Fetch it.
And the couple held the intruder at gunpoint until police arrived. It was discovered that the intruder had already taken some of their possessions and had 7 prior felony convictions against him for past crimes. There's a shocker in Chicago.
Wow.
That comes to us from CWBChicago.com.
Wow.
Imagine somebody that doing something bad more than once in Chicago, right?
Well, I mean, it's true. Of most big cities are run by certain parties that they let the criminals back out because it's good to keep the peasants afraid of the criminals so that they can ask for more gun control because it works so well. They have a catch and release kind of a you know like a catch and release pond.
Oh yeah,
You just keep letting them get bigger, get them bigger and bigger. It's a jackpot.
people are crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, if they can keep people in fear, they'll give up a lot of stuff for safety. In the name of safety, people give up every right they've got if they're not very bright.
Little brothers out here. He said, "How about Bar Harbor Airlines?
Yes.
Is that someplace you and him have been?"
Yep.
I was gonna say because I've never flown on an airplane
So
with
up
John.
there in Loring Air Force Base up in Maine, was it Loring?
Bangor, Maine.
Loring. Uh,
Loring, yep, boring, Loring.
yeah. But I flew out of Presque Isle up there, and in a nor'easter. I went. We went up there and drove him up there, and I think it was Halloween night. We arrived in Maine, and everybody up there, the adults dress up like like kids with masks and stuff on. It was sort of a weird thing, but he took me to the airport and dropped me off, and he went and checked in to his new station up there. And I think he said he parked his car and he didn't see it again until May or something because it started snowing and never stopped. I think that was the story, wasn't it, John? I got on the airplane, and as soon as we took off, I was turned this way, facing sort of towards Denver, all the way to Boston, flying sideways. Well, we stopped in Bangor, changed airplanes in Bangor, a little twin engine, crabbing it all the way down there. We landed sideways and flew from there to Boston. From Boston, flew to Pittsburgh. From Pittsburgh to Louisville. That was an awful flight. I did get to meet Stephen King though. That was pretty neat.
I
Between
remember. I remember that story.
Yeah, between Bangor and Boston, I get to fly a plane with him. But cool thing about the airports up in Maine is that they got lobsters in the airport for sale. Fresh lobster. It's pretty neat.
Oh, really?
In the airport, yeah. Well, I don't know if they do now. But This is 1985, I think. You could just
Yeah.
grab a couple, and have them throw it in the luggage with you and take it on. I didn't have any money for lobster. I was 19.
So
I
I had
was.
taken the pheasant that we shot, and the guide, he takes them and gets them processed, and they cut the breasts out, they clean them, they vacuum pack them, and then they flash freeze them.
Ooh.
So I brought them home last time the same way, but I put them inside my suitcase, and I wrapped um, a T-shirt around the bags to like insulate, and I put it right in the center of the bag and put it on. And I'm thinking the whole time, I said, all that pheasant is going to be ruined by the time we get back to Atlanta because there's no way it's going to be good. And man, I got to the house. You could bang them together and it still sounded like two rocks hitting each other. They were
Oh
still
yeah.
frozen. So I
What
guess my
about
suitcases in Denver and in South Dakota sit outside on one
yeah?
of the little carts. So
The
it
bellies
was
of those
plenty cold.
planes.
It was snowing in both places. So
Yeah, the bellies of those planes are ice cold, man. I can tell you.
yeah.
I used to work at UPS when I was in college, loading airplanes. You open up those luggage compartments down there to get the packages out. It was just like sub zero weather, sub zero air there. Well, even in the summertime, they come in. You open them up, and the cold air come pouring out of it because up in altitude, it's not very
Hmm.
hot. But yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this thing up. I didn't see snide remarks from any of the people, anybody honoring this. So we're going to wrap this puppy up. Appreciate y'all being with us. Thanks. Give us a like, a thumbs up, share. We need all the help we can get because, we're too cheap to buy likes. So send your feedback to Troy at guideandgunspodcast.com, or
Doug at GuyandGunsPodcast.com.
again, please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Guide Guns Podcast. You can subscribe and follow us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. We are on Wimpkin. I'm on Twitter. I haven't set up a Guide Guns page because somebody stole our URL, our tagline that we had for years. After they kicked us off, somebody took it. So can't get it back. But I do have a Guide and Guns Troy. You guys can find me on Twitter. I'm not spending a lot of time over there, but I did get it back since they said I could have an account again. Our website is guideandgunspodcast.com. So until next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Have a good night.